I begin by asking you, Prime Minister Modi has become India's longest serving elected Prime Minister. How do you assess the significance of this milestone from an international perspective?
Well, it's great to be with you, dear, and thank you to the ANI family always for being my family and having me on to speak about this remarkable and historic day. I certainly want to say to the Prime Minister, Prime Minister Modi, namaste again to you, and congratulations on this wonderful milestone. I tell you, you don't see leaders today that have the type of achievement that the Prime Minister has certainly achieved. 3 consecutive terms, never lost an election. What is it, 4,399 days in office? I tell you, it's remarkable to see what the Prime Minister has achieved, especially coming from such humble beginnings. You know,
Mm-hmm.
his humble beginnings in Gujarat and becoming Chief Minister of Gujarat and becoming Prime Minister. It's the greatest story of the American dream, the greatest story of the Indian dream. That's what we would call it, the American dream here, but the greatest story of the Indian dream. And so I applaud the Prime Minister for what he has achieved. And certainly, I understand now even more why he is so beloved, why he is so popular in India, but why he's so revered across the world. And I think that is because of his humble trajectory and how much he certainly has achieved in these 3 consecutive terms, not only with the U.S. India relationship, but certainly with relationships across the world. And that's because he truly represents the Indian dream. I think it's wonderful that young people in India, and certainly the young people across the world, the young people in the Indian American community here in the United States can take the Prime Minister's story and use it as inspiration for their dreams and for what they want to accomplish, certainly in contribution to India, but also in contribution across the world. So it's a remarkable journey, and I applaud the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm. Mary, as you also mentioned, many world leaders have congratulated Prime Minister Modi on this achievement. What do you think explains his enduring global appeal? And do you believe Prime Minister Modi's legacy will be defined more by domestic transformation or by India's growing influence on the world stage?
Absolutely. I think that it's very clear that the Prime Minister has cemented India as a key player in geopolitics, and it's irrefutable. It's a non-negotiable. If you want to do business in the world, you have to be in alignment with India and you have to be doing business with India. And that is certainly to the credit of the Prime Minister. I think a lot that's contributed to his success certainly starts with the Prime Minister is a great visionary. From the beginning, you know, even in his humble beginnings, serving as Chief Minister of Gujarat, the Prime Minister had a vision for India in the context of certainly the Indian dream, making sure that every citizen of India, no matter your zip code, no matter where you're from, who you are, what you do, that every Indian citizen has the same equal playing field. And so the Prime Minister has certainly demonstrated that in his policies with the help of his administration, but he has certainly demonstrated that sentiment, having a vision for every Indian to succeed. And I think that has been a big part of his success. That vision, including the advancements in technology, the advancements in infrastructure, the greater opportunities of free enterprise, certainly for rural America. You know, the Prime Minister's focus on opportunities for farmers, which are the backbone of India, just like they're the backbone here in America. The opportunities for rural America. He's certainly in this current term has made tremendous inroads and making sure that again, all citizens, rural India included, has the same type of opportunities that anyone else would have. And I think also what has put the Prime Minister certainly on the map globally, as well as contributed to India internally, is his advocacy for women. I think that's the greatest accomplishment personally. I would say that as an outsider and a lover of India, I think the greatest accomplishment that I have witnessed with the Prime Minister is how he has become a great advocate for women. We've seen that certainly in the context of President Murmu, and namaste to the president. The prime minister made sure that there was representation, certainly in the presidency, as it pertains to the elevation of women. And we saw an extraordinary number of women serving in his terms, the three consecutive terms of the course of his journey. And so I think that's been a tremendous inspiration to young women in India, certainly young women across the world. When you see a country of 1.4 billion people, that the prime minister is a vocal and vibrant advocate for women and young women. I've loved seeing those images of the prime minister with the young athletes, the women, and the young women in the rural areas of India. I think it is such an inspiration, and I think it's been one of the greatest achievements that the prime minister has had over the course of his three terms.
Mhm. Mary, as someone who has been a strong advocate of India US ties, where do you see the partnership heading over the next decade? And how important is the personal chemistry between leaders in strengthening the relationship?
Well, it's the most important. The U.S. India relationship is the most important relationship, I believe, in the world. It's the largest and longest and strongest democracy, certainly, that we have in the world. And so the relationship is very important. And certainly, I know that there's been some tough days between the United States and India, certainly here in these last months. But I'm optimistic that we are headed towards better days. We certainly saw the great affection between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi during the president's first term. Certainly, when the prime minister came over for the Howdy Modi rally, and we saw all of this affection between President Trump and the prime minister, that was very real. And I believe that relationship is real. Of course, I believe, just to be very candid, that the Trump administration had the wrong approach, the wrong counsel to the president as it pertains to this term, Trump 2.0. We saw the wrong direction with the tariff situation. There's been the wrong rhetoric and narrative around the visa situation. I just think that this administration has not advised the president well in the context of why the U.S.-India relationship is important. I think that we're on a better footing. I certainly applaud the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador to India, Ambassador Gore, who's a good friend and is doing a great job in his capacity there. But I think that I know that the prime minister and the president are scheduled to have an interface at the G7 summit next week. And it's my hope that that interface will be more than just photos and pomp and circumstance. It would be in the benefit of the president to use this opportunity to really repair the relationship with the prime minister. The president owes the prime minister an apology, and he should make it. Even more so, he should do everything possible to maximize this interface in a way that moves us forward. The prime minister has outlasted consecutive U.S. presidents, and he will be around once President Trump's term is over, and he will welcome in the new relationship with the next president in 2028, and so on. And so, again, it would be to the benefit of the president to use his opportunity to put us back on better terms. And certainly, I applaud the prime minister for his leadership in the difficulties of the relationship here these last several months. But I think we're going to be on a better footing, and I hope that next week at the the G7 summit, we see a great interface between the president and the prime minister.
Mm-hmm. Mary, your rendition of India's national anthem and your connection with Indian culture have resonated deeply with Indians. What has been the most memorable moment of your engagement with India and having interacted with leaders and citizens in both India and US? What common values do you believe bind the people of the two democracies together?
It's a great question. Well, I'll tell you, one of my favorite interfaces is this one right here. I just love talking to you. And I'm so proud of you and proud of all the young women in India that are doing such extraordinary things and contributions to the country. You can tell, and you already know this, I have such an affection for young women and young leaders. And so I'm proud of all of the young people in India that are making their way to be the next leaders of India and certainly the next leaders in the world. I think some of my favorite favorite interfaces, of course, it was such an honor to meet the Prime Minister for the first time directly when he was here in 2023, when President Biden and former First Lady Jill Biden invited the Prime Minister for an official visit. I was very honored to be asked to perform during that visit and meet the Prime Minister. He was so kind to me, and it's been a blessing to now have a beautiful friendship with the Prime Minister. I would say from those performance interfaces, certainly visiting India was such a very special time for me. I'm so looking forward to returning, hopefully this fall. Very eager to come and see my big 1.4 billion family, even more so have an opportunity to perform and share music. But I think what I always advocate, certainly what I would advocate now, because again, I think there's been some disfortunate and wrong narratives about India, about the Indian people, about the Indian American community that has been reverberating across the United States, and it's been very disappointing personally because I know the Indian people personally. I know this wonderful culture personally, and so I think the interfaces that I've been able to have as an artist, certainly as an advocate for the Prime Minister in India, I want to use those interfaces now to really combat those wrong narratives and set the record straight about the beauty of India and the beauty of the Indian people, and encourage everyone watching this interview to go visit India. It's really adolescent, I would say, to talk about a country or a people that you don't know and a land that you've never visited. And so my hope is that everyone in the United States go visit India, go experience the beauty of this land, go experience the beauty of the people, go and see why I and so many have such a great affection for the Prime Minister and for the Indian people. And I will just say I'm very grateful to the Prime Minister, very grateful to the Indian government, very grateful to India, certainly those in India and the Indian American community for their kindness to me and welcoming me as a part of the family. I just love the country and the people. And wherever I go, whatever I do, India can always know that they have a friend in me, and I'll be their biggest advocate for sure.
Thanks, Mary. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful interview, and I really appreciate what you think